Hey everyone, if you don't know me, this is Erin O'Keefe, Diamond Ambassador, and we have a very exciting training tonight. Nicole Batista, Dana Kiernan, and I did this training last weekend in Rockland, and we thought it went pretty well. So we wanted to put it into a Zoom meeting for our teams and to also record it so other teams can see it. And people who couldn't get on, we could share it with them in our team groups and just share it wherever, because it really went really well. So first I wanted to introduce our two presenters. We have Silver Ambassador Nicole Batista. She's going to be talking about how to use Facebook as a marketing tool with your warm market. And Dana, how to network with your cold market. So those people, cold market means those people, your friends and family who are just so skeptical, they're not gonna listen to you or join you or buy the product. And how do you work your business outside of that? So Dana is amazing at this, and she has some great tips. So I want to thank you for getting on and taking time out of your night, and we're going to get started. So if we can start with Dana. I have notes here. I don't mean to look away, but I have notes here that I want to keep referring to. So Dana, if you can kick off the call, that'd be great.
Sure. So like Erin said, I'm going to talk about really how to talk to strangers and really make yourself comfortable doing so. So I started doing this because really I had reached out to all of my friends and family, and they said no or just ignored me. And I knew if I were to grow my business that I'd have to really get out of my comfort zone and start networking and meeting new contacts. And like I said, this isn't easy at first. And once you start getting used to doing this, it's just going to get easier. So what I really do is when I go out, no matter where I go, I always carry business cards and samples with me. That way I know I'm prepared. And I always go out with a purpose. And with that, I mean, no matter where I go, I'm going to try and work Plexus into the conversation. Now, I don't go to a conversation, go somewhere and say, hey, let me tell you about Plexus. I start, just finding a common ground. So, and I'll get into some examples in a little while. But I start talking about something neutral and then kind of weave Plexus into it. So you're not really puking Plexus. I also have notes. And you really want to be confident with your whole conversation. So when you walk into, say, a store, you want to have that confidence. And that's going to translate when you start talking about the business too, because you're going to be credible and reliable and all those good things that you, want to portray as a Plexus ambassador. So first you want to build a rapport. Like I said, you don't want to go in and puke Plexus. You want to start on neutral grounds. So you go in, you start talking to the person about, whatever it may be. And then they start trusting you, building some kind of a relationship. And you actually sometimes, I don't always talk about Plexus right away. Sometimes I'll just build a relationship, then friend that person on Facebook and start talking from there. It's not instant gratification. Talking to strangers, you're not going to meet your next rock star and sign them on the spot. Well, you may, but I haven't found that yet. So really what I do is I start building that relationship and start building that trust. Sometimes I add them to my group right away. Sometimes I tell them about Plexus right away, but not always. You really have to feel out the situation and feel out that personality type as well. So really be confident in your message and in yourself, because that's going to portray to your audience as well. And tune out the what ifs and really kind of just get out of your own head. I mean, you're always going to be doubtful, but tune that out, because you're going to have to do this eventually if you want to grow your business. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say no. So be it, or they're not going to answer you. Okay, you may not see them again, so it doesn't really matter. But they could say yes, or they could say maybe, or you use that as a learning experience for the next time. Every conversation you have with someone, you're setting yourself up to build your elevator speech and really refine your message over time. And it's going to get easier, and you're going to network and meet new contacts and be successful this way. So just some examples of things that I've done kind of recently. So, a few months ago I went into Sephora, and, I go in with a purpose, but really I was just looking at makeup and lotion, the stuff that we all do there. So I started talking to the sales associate about face lotion. And I was just looking around, and she was talking about, how her son has eczema. And I said, have you ever found a product with activated charcoal? And we started talking about that, because obviously she knows about activated charcoal since she works there, knows about the ingredients. So that was a nice segue into Plexus body cream. Started talking and built a relationship there, which later led into the Plexus business and her ultimately coming onto the team. recently I took my daughter to her dentist. And many of you know I had twins 2 months ago. And they were saying, like, you're the one who had twins, and, you know, you look great. Your recovery doesn't seem like it was too bad. And that led into me talking about gut health and the importance of gut health and how that set me up for an easier recovery, which then led into Plexus and giving out business cards and samples. So those are just some examples of what I've done. But really, what I stress is you want to work it into the conversation. You don't want to lead with that. So you find a common ground, whether it's product related, ingredient related, overall health and wellness, some kind of common ground that you have, and then you can work Plexus into that conversation. And really, each experience is practice for the next. That's how I look at this. You may make a contact, you may get rejected. It's all going to happen, but you get more comfortable the more times you do it. So just use it as a learning experience, and it's going to get easier. I mean, I do it. I don't even think about doing it anymore. I just do it. But I wasn't always like that. So keep doing it. It'll get easier. And just practice. That's really all I can stress.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you said, get out of your own head, just do it. And we talk about ripping the Band-Aid. And after you do it a few times, it does get easier. And I just did it this week with my hairdresser, who she's known I do Plexus. I've never even offered samples to her because talking to strangers, like, she's still my stranger. I only see her 4 times a year, but I still consider her a stranger. And talking to a stranger about it is not easy for me. And I had like little devil in my head saying, don't do it. And the other person was like, just give her a sample, just give her a sample, you know? So we were talking about, you know, my Diamond documentary, and I needed my hair and makeup done. And she was talking about how she wants to move out of her parents' house and how she needs some money. And I'm like, just went for it. I'm like, well, you know, you could sell Plexus like I do. And she's like, yeah, you know, I guess I could. And I was like, listen, take a sample. There's no pressure. Next time I see you on June 22nd, we'll talk about if you like the sample or not. And it takes time. Like, I've known this girl for 2 years, and sometimes it takes time to build that rapport, like you said, and relationship. I will never, ever, ever go up to someone in Target in line and say, hey, have you ever heard about Plexus? It's just not who I am. It's not what I do. And I believe, like you said, building that rapport and making your cold market your warm market. So those people you don't know, make them your Facebook friends. Get to know them, comment on their post. And then when they see you post about Plexus, or you want to private message them about Plexus, that's when you share it. But, you know, go slow. Sometimes it really takes time. So that was great, Dana. And you really are the queen of that. And I love when you talk about that. And I just want to talk about a little bit of no excuses, because when I look at Dana, she has every excuse in the world to say, I don't have time to work this business. She has 3 kids, 3 and under, at home. Her husband works crazy hours, and she doesn't have time. But she figures out a way. She has a system in place to work this business in the nooks and crannies of her day when she can. So I'm really big on no excuses, or I don't have time. You have to get past that and figure out a system, because none of us have time. I mean, I have time now, but I didn't last year. When I was going through the ranks of this company, I had no time in the day. And if you want this bad enough, you'll figure out a way. So thank you, Dana. You're awesome. And all right, so Nicole is going to share how to use Facebook with your current market or current Facebook friends.
Okay. Hi, guys. So kind of segueing from what Dana said, after you make friends with new people or new contacts, or maybe you have some contacts in the past that you don't really see very often, maybe they're from high school or your middle school friends, you can kind of use social media as your tool to make the connections with those people. And the beauty of social media is that you can kind of hit a large group of people at once, and from there you can start to really analyze what's happening in those conversations. For example, you could put out a post, just about your family and kind of see who's watching you. And then from there, you can start to think about those people and making connections with them, and eventually bringing Plexus into the conversation. Again, kind of like Dana said, you're not puking Plexus on them. You're kind of just thinking about them as your market, your audience, and how do you want to work with them to share these products with them. Very similar to what Dana and Erin both said, it's so common to be fearful, and you kind of just have to rip that Band-Aid off and say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to, you know, forget the naysayers and not worry about the what ifs and the questioning. And just, if you believe in these products, which you all do, you're just going to go out there and share them, you know, with that servant heart of wanting to say, I want to help other people. So think about that when you're putting these posts on, instead of just thinking, you know, maybe I'm annoying somebody, or my family already said they don't want to know about this. Forget that. And just go out there with the attitude of, who can I help today? There's a lot of things you can do on your personal profile to make yourself a little bit more appealing, so to say, to this group of people that you're trying to showcase to. One thing you can do is make sure that you have a picture of yourself somewhere on your profile. A lot of times we put, you know, pictures of our beautiful families or something that we enjoy doing. But if you're trying to connect with people, it's really important for them to see your face so they know who it is and kind of what you stand for. You know, some people put quotes and things like that up there as well. That's fine, but just make sure your face is somewhere in your profile picture. It's really important. And also, you know, you could think about putting Plexus Ambassador in your job description. I know for me, this was a hard choice. I was thinking, oh, I don't want to take away that I'm a teacher. I feel like I worked really hard for that. But truth be told, nobody's going to hire me to be a teacher because of my Facebook profile. Nobody's scanning, you know, to see, is she really a teacher at this school district? So I don't really care if it says that I'm a teacher on there anymore. I actually just removed it, and the first thing it shows is that I'm a Plexus Ambassador. So, you know, I use that often in conversations too when people say, what do you do? I don't really care if they know I'm a teacher or not. I already have that job. I'm not trying to get another one. So I just go with, oh, I'm an ambassador for this health and wellness company. And they don't need to know that my, you know, regular 9-to-5 job is teaching. It doesn't matter. I'm marketing this, and I'm trying to show that I'm really passionate about it. So it should show on your profile as well. It's important for you to start to become visible, which, you know, most of you are. I see you all the time posting. You would just want to make sure that you have that balance between your personal and your Plexus life. And also you might want to start thinking about targeting certain people that you are thinking about and becoming visible to them. So each time you like a specific person's pictures or comment on their pictures, or even if you send them a Facebook message, you automatically become more visible to them. So just by starting those communications and having those conversations, you are already going to be in their newsfeed more often than you would have before. So they'll see when you do something really fun with your family, but they'll also see when you post, you know, amazing updates about new products coming out or something like that. So that's a good way to just make sure that you're popping up in their feeds. And, you know, it's really important to gain trust with these people. You don't want to just post one day about Plexus and then never post again, and then maybe 2 months later post, because nobody's going to really believe you if you're inconsistent. You want to kind of always be maintaining the fact that this is what you're doing and you're passionate about it and you want to share it with everyone. So maintain that consistency on your social media. Even though sometimes it's hard and we forget, set, you know, reminders, or there are plenty of apps for that. Everybody has other things to do during the day, but it is really important for you to get out there and do that. It shouldn't be your only way, but it should be one of the ways that you're spreading your message. There's lots of ways to post about Plexus. You know, you can post a friend's testimony. You can post, like Erin did today, taking a picture of someone else and saying this is my highest PV person or something like that, giving shout outs, making other people feel good. You can post about products, especially new ones that are coming out or revamped ones that we want to talk about. And then you should also be posting about the business opportunity, which is often hard for us because we think of money as a little bit private and we don't really want to touch that taboo subject. But the truth is there are lots of people out there that could benefit from the business opportunity. So we need to be sharing that with them as well. And look at who's responding to that. Look at who's liking that. Look at who, you know, might be commenting on that. And those are the people you then want to build your connections and your relationships with. You can also post, you know, non-Plexus related things just to see who's out in your market. Some questions to engage the audience. Could be totally unrelated to what's really going on in your life. Something like, you know, which kitchen should be my new dream kitchen, and just see who's watching you. And from there, build those relationships with those people. And then you can start to talk Plexus with them. Everything doesn't have to be Plexus, but you really are trying to gauge who your market is, regardless of what you're posting, Plexus or non-Plexus. Something simple like a quote or motivational picture or something like that. You'll see that a lot of people will react to that. And then you can start to gauge, who do I want to continue to talk to about this, or who could use this at this point, or who have I already reached out to and they said no, but maybe I'm going to reach out to them again because they're still really following me and they're watching me. So there are some like golden rules so to think about when you're on social media, and this is probably the most important thing because it can make or break you. You really want to just present yourself positively all the time. Even if you're having the worst day ever, maybe just don't post that day at all. Just stay away from your computer, stay away from your phone, go do something else. Tell your husband, tell your kids, tell your dog, but don't go on social media because people will remember the negative more than they'll remember the positive. And unfortunately, it's really hard to get back that positive motivation after you have such a bad blast like that out on social media. If you think about it as like your Facebook posture, how do you want to carry yourself? How do you want to present yourself? You have to show that when you're on Facebook. No matter what kind of day you're really having, you still have to present yourself as a really positive person, and everything's, working for you and you're working hard and you're motivated. Definitely, think about not whining, think about not really cursing, foul language, stuff like that. It just turns some people off. And while you may have friends that are, it's fine with them, there may be one or two people in your audience that are really offended by that, and you're now just going to lose them because of that. So while you might be, talking to your friend, that's totally separate. Just don't put it on your personal page or blast that out there. Have a separate, phone conversation with them or whatever. Text them. You don't have to put that out on your Facebook page. And then if you might want to start looking into the law of attraction, which is how to get people attracted to you. And there's a lot of information about that. We could do a whole other training on that. And I'm definitely not the guru. Erin knows this a lot more than I think anybody here does, but it's really important to start looking at how to get people attracted to you, what makes them feel good, what do they want to hear, and kind of start catering to those needs, because those are the people that they become your warmest market. They're now there with the openest ears and they want to hear what you have to say. They think that they like what you're doing and they want to do what you're doing. So if you're selling Plexus and you're taking Plexus, they want to do it too. So how do you get those people on that, like, to jump ship with you? And then just, stay clear of drama on Facebook. There's tons of things on big group pages, and just even if you have this really strong opinion about things, try and stay out of it, because people will recognize your profile face then with that negativity and that, always being combative, and you don't want to have that. You just want to be someone that people can go to and they can trust and they can rely on and that they've built a relationship with. So social media can be your best friend when it comes to this, and it can really be a way for you once you get those cold market people or even people that you already have in your warm market. It can be a good connecting device. It's great to reconnect with people that we haven't seen in forever, and this is a really nice way to do it. You just have to be very cautious about what you're doing. You want to, again, have purpose for everything that you're doing. Why are you posting that? What are you trying to do, or what are you trying to attain? That's it.
Awesome. That was amazing. And every time you speak, I learn 5 things. So thank you both for that. That was awesome. And I can't say enough about the negativity. And I don't care what kind of day you're having. Like Nicole said, call your dog, call your friend, call your mom, call whoever. Don't post it on Facebook. Honestly, if I was like on the brink of joining Facebook and I saw something about how you had road rage or something negative, anything that came out of your mouth, I wouldn't join you. And like I told this story last week, this girl from Plattsburgh, where I'm from, she's a Beachbody coach, and she accidentally friended me, which I still think is BS. She is so positive. Like, if I wasn't doing Plexus, I'd be like, I'm going to join your team because you're just so positive and inspirational and amazing. And no, Erin O'Keefe is not going to Beachbody. But I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of person that people want to follow. Why would anyone want to follow someone that's negative? And, in addition to that, like, I know, like, Plexus can be, like, very religious and very, sometimes political. Like, I personally, for me, I would keep those views off of Facebook too. Totally up to you. It's your business. It's your Facebook profile, but you can do what you want. But especially politics with the new up and coming presidential race, I would really keep that private. So you never know. You might have this prospect out there that sees that you like whoever and is like, oh no, I'm running for the hills. So great tip. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Dana. Okay, so I have some things that I want to talk about, and a few of them are prospecting, following up, closing, and signing ambassadors, and then a couple other things at the end. And I really want to help you guys prep for June and prep for this upcoming amazing season that could just blow our businesses up. So first, prospecting. Prospecting is a skill, and I want you to think of every single person that you come in contact with, or every single Facebook friend that's not an ambassador or not with another ambassador, as one of your prospects. Those are people that you can share Plexus with, whether it's the products or the business. Every single person needs to be on a list for you. So that's the first thing you do, is go through all your people and make a list. Prospecting is a skill. It takes practice. And when you see the same people signing ambassadors over and over again, it's because they've really mastered the skill. Whether they learned it through a book or whether they're just natural on it, they're good at it. And they know how to talk to people, they know how to read people, and they know how to prospect. So I do have some steps in case that this is not a skill for you, a simple task for you. And if you have a pen and paper, maybe this is the time to take some notes, because there's 8 steps. This comes from Eric Worre, and I do have the PDF. Last week my computer got wet, closed down. I paid money, got it fixed. Now it's up and running again, and I'm going to post this file in my team group tomorrow. But it's a great PDF I found last week, and I think it's great 8 steps to prospecting. So all these people you have on a list, right? You need to, step number 1, you need to be in a hurry. When you have a prospect in place, like someone messages you, like say you make a post on Facebook and someone says, let's talk. All right, I'm running out the door, but I really want to talk to you. What time can we talk? Or, yeah, I know I'm really busy right now, but like, let's set a time where we can message each other, or I can call you. So you kind of want to be in a hurry. You want to look like there's a sense of urgency and that you're kind of so busy that, I'm there for you. I'm ready to listen to you, but, I have a lot going on right now, because you want your business to look excitable and busy. Number 2, this is my favorite one. And I do this all the time, whether I do it without knowing or whether I do it purposefully. Compliment someone. When I am prospecting with my current Facebook list and I send messages to people, like cold messages, I just say, I can't stop thinking about how amazing you would be in this business. Your level of influence over people is incredible. You would be awesome. Would you ever consider like just hearing what Plexus is about? That's simple. People like to be complimented. And whether they take it or leave it, at least you put it out there. But honestly, I think the most important thing is to be sincere. You're not going to message someone who has 14 Facebook friends and is negative all the time and be like, you have the greatest inner circle. You really want to do it with people that you really believe are amazing, sincere. They have a huge following. When you see someone post on Facebook and they get like 50 likes and 40 comments, that's someone you want on your team. And this goes outside of Facebook, guys. Like, you cannot just look at Facebook as your Plexus business. Just posting once or twice a day on Facebook is not working this business. It is if you just want it as a hobby. That's totally cool. It's your business. Is up to you. But if you want to build your business and you want to grow your organization and bring money and income into your household, you need to look outside of just posting on Facebook. Okay, step number 3. You want to invite someone to look at your product or your opportunity. So you could say something like, I'm sure you've seen my posts. I would love to chat with you about Plexus. Or, my company is expanding in your area, and I would love for you to be the first person to talk about Plexus with all your friends. Or, I found a company that you need to see. And like, okay, that last one is more for the new ambassador. But you can say it, or if you're a brand new, like I said, new ambassador. But that's a great way to segue into, what Plexus is. So that's step 3. Step 4, if I, would you? So you could say there, if I sent you some brochures, would you take a look at them to see if this is the right fit for you? If I sent you a video, would you take 3 minutes to watch it and tell me what you think? So that's when you send some of our product information videos, the Plexus Journey videos, our catalog, some samples. You know, if I do this, would you tell me what you think? So I think that's such a great step, because that kind of like puts the ball in both of your courts. Like, I'm going to give it to you, but I really want you to interact with me about it, not just take my samples and just steal them and take my $12 that I just spent on them, but I want you to give me feedback on them. Get a time commitment. Okay, so I'm going to send you a 3-day sample. I want you to take it all 3 days. You know, start on Monday. On Thursday, I'm going to check in with you, and I want you to tell me your honest opinion. And of course, you want to prep them. You're not going to have 15 pounds of weight loss in your 3 days. You're just going to see if you like the taste. But, you know, that's something you could say. Or you could say, you know, watch this video that I sent you, and I'm going to check back with you tomorrow and tell me what you think about it. So get a time commitment and follow up. Confirm, number 6. So that's when you say, so if I call you at 10 o'clock, would you be available to talk? And then number 7 is you actually call them. And number 8 is you get off the phone. You call them, you get the information, and you run. And we want to sit there and talk for an hour about how Plexus changed your life, but we also want to create a sense of urgency. And, you know, whatever that means for you, that's what you got to do. Okay, so those are the 8 steps to prospecting. And in the Eric Worre PDF, there is a ton of verbiage. And, you know, like, we know people, we're not going to say the same thing to every single person. Some people don't want to hear about every ingredient that's in the product. And some people don't want to hear that Plexus throws the best parties, or not everyone wants to hear about the Lexus or helping. Like, you have to figure out what works for that person. And there's so many lines in here that you can use when you're prospecting. Okay, so you have the prospects, you've been prospecting, you've been inviting them to look at what you have. Now you got to follow up. And for me, I love to front load. The beginning of every month, I always make my list. This month it's huge, and I'm going to get into that towards the end of the call. But I front load my income producing activities in the beginning of the month, like the first 10 days, because I want the rest of the month to be my follow-up days. You know, you're not really 99% of the time, if you go message someone, they're not ordering just that day. They're just not. It takes like 7 to 12 contacts before someone finally orders. It takes people to ignoring you. You know, people say no, thank you, not at this time. People say, yes, I'm going to check out your website. People say, I'm going to order today, and they don't for 2 weeks. It takes a lot of follow-up. So don't give up on the follow-up. Don't get mad at them. Don't say, I can't believe they haven't ordered, or why haven't you ordered? That's literally the worst thing you could do. Send them a sweet little message or a cutesy message. Or, you know, I don't know, like, my site was down, not to lie, but, you know, my site was down for a couple of minutes. You know, just want to make sure you got on okay and looked at everything okay. Or did you have any questions when you were viewing my website? I know you've had a time to take a look at the website. What do you think? Did you have any questions? What products are you thinking of? You know, I have an idea what will work for you, all that stuff. But follow up in a sweet way. And if people ignore you, don't stop following up. Let them know that you're not trying to sell them something, that you're really trying to change their life. Closing the deal. So people that are ready, you know, based on what you've seen, let's figure out the best way to get you your products. And that's when you really, I think it's so important to get people on the phone and then explain to them the options while they're looking at the computer. So closing the deal, now you have the prospect, you followed up, and now they're ready. What do you do with them? And to me, there are 2 options. There are really 3 options, but to me, there's 2 options, because I don't love retail. I don't ever sell that way, and I never lead with retail. Have people ordered retail from me? Of course they have. But I always let them know that is not the best way to order our products, and I don't want anyone to waste that extra money. So to me, I give them, first you have to qualify them. So to me, preferred and wholesale are the most important ways to order your products. So if you have an ambassador that wants Slim Accelerator only, we know that gives us 90 PV or 90 impersonal volume. 90 impersonal volume is never a wholesale ambassador, ever. Unless they want to share with their husband or their mom or their aunts or their friends, unless they have someone else who they think, they want to work the business or share the products with. 90 PV is never a wholesale ambassador. That's a customer. And it's so important to have a balance of you need to be bringing in customers and you need to be bringing in ambassadors. If you want to maximize our compensation plan and you want to really work this organization the way it's meant to be worked, you need to be bringing in both. So if I see someone who's just bringing in customers, I'm thinking they're only working 2 ways to get paid. If they're only bringing in ambassadors, that's almost like a little pyramid scheming. So you really kind of want to do both. But anyway, so go back to qualifying them. So if it's someone that wants Triplex, Slim Accelerator Block, a whole bunch of products, or if they want their husband or mom, whatever, if they qualify, meaning they have more than 100 PV every month, that is a chance to offer them to be a wholesale ambassador. And here's the way I present this. Here's the verbiage I use. I say, okay, I know what products you want. Here are the 2 ways you can buy. But first, I want you to tell me what's more important to you. The 60-day money-back guarantee or saving money. And if they say 60-day money-back, I sign them up as a preferred customer. If they say saving money, I let them know about the perks of being a wholesale ambassador and how they have their website for a year. They can order products, they have the opportunity to keep their website on or shut it off. It's up to them. But at least you're offering them that option to get their prices cheapest. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you offer them that option? Someone offered it to you. You should offer it to someone else. Not everyone that signs up wants to be a business ambassador. Not everyone wants to build a business. But we should have that servant heart to where we are at least saying, yes, I'm going to offer you the ability to order your products at the cheapest price. Okay, so why sign ambassadors? First, my first point is why not? Why wouldn't you? It helps them. If we talk about Plexus leading with a servant heart and always doing what's best for our people, and that, to me, if they qualify with 100 PV every month, that is their best option to get their products. There's no reason to not. So it's always in the best interest of the person signing up. So better prices, and they do have the option to build a business if they want to. And I'm telling you, I've seen so many people start as wholesale and ended up building a business. And most Diamond Docs, like this wasn't me, like I started in for the business, but so many Diamond Docs, if you watch, they say, well, I just wanted to get my prices at the best products at the best price. And then all of a sudden they're a diamond. So at least gives them that option. The compensation plan. We have the ability to have this balanced business, bringing in customers and bringing in ambassadors. There's 12 ways to get paid. If you're just bringing in customers, you're only getting paid 2 ways. If you're looking to share the opportunity or share wholesale pricing, you're building a balanced business. Our compensation is very unique. We have the ability to build wide, meaning we can add as many level 1s as we want. And if you're new to network marketing and Plexus is your only business you've been in, you don't even realize how serious that is. There are so many companies that'll let you sign only 2 level 1s. It's called a binary. And you sign 2 level 1s, and then you have to build down. So if you get a 3rd level 1, you have to place them. You get a 4th level 1, you have to place them. And that's the only way to build your business and the only way to rank. You cannot build wide. It's crazy. It's insane. And what makes this compensation plan and this company so amazing and unique. Residual income. That when people order their products and they become commission qualified every month, you get pay points. You're having money coming in without even having to work. Yes, you did the work, you prospected, you signed them up as a wholesale ambassador or a business ambassador, and now they're just ordering their products every month and you're getting paid on it. So residual income. And in the beginning, it's not like crazy money, but when you build a large organization, it's tens of thousands of dollars. The weekly checks, when someone buys a welcome pack, you get paid weekly on them. So that's a nice perk. I mean, it's one of the things that makes our compensation plan so amazing. And you get to earn ranks and bonuses. No one ever got to Emerald off customers. I'm going to say that again. No one ever got to be an Emerald ambassador off customers. You have to build an organization and you have to have pay points to get there. So that's the whys of, the prospecting, and then why you want to sign them as ambassadors. And it's really based on doing what's best for people, and in turn, it helps us build an organization. On top of that, I really want to touch on a few things, and I want to help you prepare for June because I'm so excited for this month coming up. First of all, consistency. I think it is so, I know Nicole talked about it, important to be consistent. I hear so many people say, and I'm not trying to mock anyone, I'm not trying to be rude, will I want to be a diamond? Will I want to be an emerald? Okay. Well, are you working every day? Well, no. Have you made your list of 100 every month? No. Do you have goals written down every month? No. Okay. But I really want to be a diamond. Okay, so what are you doing? So you cannot run a business without a plan. You have to get to work. You have to hustle. Like, I did not get to diamond. I'm telling you, I did not get there on accident. It did not happen by accident. It happened with purposeful planning. I signed 3 to 6 level 1s a month, every month for at least a year and a half. So it involves being consistent. It doesn't have to be hard, but it involves the same things every day. Talking to people, reaching out, following up, planting seeds. If you take a month off, if you take 2 weeks off, if you take 3 weeks off, it's going to be hard to recoup. I'm just going to be honest. And if you have a team and they see you taking time off, they're going to duplicate that. They're going to follow their leader. And if they see you taking time off, they're going to take time off. And then people are going to drop and they're going to fall. And you're going to be like, you might blame Plexus. You might say, oh, this company or this and this and this. But you have to self-reflect and I have to say, what am I doing? So, I really want to stress the fact of being consistent and getting a plan in place, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, but you cannot work this business 3 days a week. You have to work 7 days a week if you want to get to the top. But that doesn't mean work 5 hours a day. That could be 15 minutes, guys. And if you have a system in place, all you got to work is a few minutes every day. I want to talk a little bit about, getting back on the horse. I am not someone who has pity, or I don't get upset when I have a customer quit or an ambassador quit. To me, that fires me up, and I'm going to find 2 more to replace that person. So if you're someone that says, oh, I had a customer quit, the products just don't work, I don't think this company's for me, I'm just going to be honest, and I don't mean to be rude by this, but please take it as tough love, and the fact that I love you, that's just not going to work. You're not going to make it. And you have to have belief all the time. So when a customer quits, you have to question, did they really take their products? Did they take it with fidelity? Are they taking them every day? You have to question that. Compliance. A lot of people are letting compliance hold them back in these Plexus Way emails. That should not get in your way of what you're doing on a daily basis. I used this analogy last week, and the way we started when I started 2.5 years ago, it was truly Plexus run amok. It was a disaster. It was great because we could post anything we want and there was no rules. But think about it. Think about like a kindergarten class not having a teacher. And what are they going to learn? How safe are they? How are they going to grow? And when we are posting about diseases and posting things we're not supposed to, it's not safe for our company. It's not good for our growth. And for me, I want to keep this company around as long as possible. So I'm going to do whatever those Plexus Way emails tell us to. So, what it does force us to is work on relationships and making more connections with people and getting outside of our comfort zone. And I'm telling you, if you do that, like it's really going to help you. So we have to get over the compliance rules. Don't let it affect you. And with the new products coming out very soon, we're going to have so much more that we can work with. They're going to give us videos we can post. They're going to give us graphics we can post. They're going to give us clinical results that we can share. So hold tight, because it's a week and a half away, and we're going to have so many more tools that we can use. So, to me, that doesn't stop me from sharing a testimony. If I know someone with a migraine, I'm going to send it to them in an email. I'm going to send it to them in a private message. I'm just not going to post it on Facebook. I don't want our company shut down. Okay, so that is kind of like a summary of what we did, but putting a plan in for June. Here's what I did. At the beginning of every month, and listen guys, if you don't have a plan, if you don't write down your goals, if you don't have a list you're working off, if you don't have a system in place, what are you doing? That's not really a business. So you have to have goals, an action plan, a system, and you have to get to work. You have to hustle. If you want to build your business, if you just want a couple customers, listen, I'm just talking to people who want to grow. You have to hustle. So here's what I did this month. Because I know that a new product's coming out, I don't know what the product is. I have no idea. And that's being truthful. But I'm praying it's something huge. I went back through every single one of my old customers. Some of them are not even in my back office. Some of them, hey, and hurry up. I'm going to go. Say hi to Sue McQueen. Okay. Go. I have to go. Good night. I love you. Okay, go back. Yeah. Sorry. So I went through kind of like my mental memory, my customer list, and I went through all my Facebook friends, looked at who's not ambassadors, my white lines, my people who didn't process, my, people who started the business and quit, and I put them all on a list. At the beginning of every month, I do this regardless. Now, typically my list is about 20 to 30 people every month, and that's what I work off of. But I'm telling you, it's over 200 this week. I woke up yesterday at 5:30 in the morning, fired up, and just started putting people down on a list. So I'm going to go through that list, and people that I've never purchased, I'm going to start working with them until convention. But when convention hits and I know what products there are, I'm going to be trying to get every single one of my old customers back, trying to get them to try whatever new products. So maybe it didn't work before, but hey, now we have the clinical studies. Whatever it is, God willing, it's weight loss. The average customer loses 5 pounds in the first month. This is based on a clinical trial. Would you like to try for 60 days? Try for 60 days and give me your honest reviews. And, let's go from there. I'm trying to get every single one of my customers back. I'm going to go through my white lines, level 1s and 2s, and I'm going to be looking at people that started the business and stopped, whether wholesale or business ambassador, and I'm going to offer them the new product. Hey, here's our new product. I'd love for you to come back and try it. Let's turn your account back on and, try it for 2 months and tell me what you think. That's my plan. That's my goal. So I take those people and I'm going to say it's 100, right? Over the next 15 days, I'm going to try to be messaging 10 to 15 people a day until all the people are out, or until like convention hits, and then I work on those older people. So that's my plan. I invite you to do the same thing. Have people come back, give it another try, and then see what goes from there. But I think, if we work, we hustle, we have a plan, we have goals, we have action, and get an accountability partner, like who's going to hold you accountable? All right, I want to get 3 customers and 3 ambassadors this month. Like, who's going to hold me accountable? And find someone to work with that's going to do that with you. So that's really it. That's what pretty much I'm eating, and then I added on a little bit of my June plan. I'm going to stop recording, but I want you guys to stay on so you guys can ask questions. But for the sake of the Zoom meeting, I'm going to stop recording.